Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gisme TV, the Pigeon News event and entertainment channel. So, una know say na Pigeon we dey speak for this channel, all right? But today, we wan bring una one ogbonge tori, one, in fact, not be tori. We get live interview with our own daughter. Wey be say she dey make us proud, she dey make the family proud, she dey make everybody proud. For her age, a lot of things wey she don do. So we really dey very very happy to present her to you. But before we go present her to you, I wan introduce the people wey dey inside the studio with me. So I am Roslyn at Gisme TV, and I have another person here with me in the studio is Chief Farm Azaya Oko. Farm Azaya Oko, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. And thank you, viewers, for coming to watch us today for today's great interview. It is going to be very interesting, so keep tuned in on this channel.
All right. Okay, welcome back, my country people, to this great Ogbonge day where we did today. So, before we introduce our guest right now, I would want us to read her biography, and I have the honor of bringing in Chief Farm Azaya Oko to read us the biography of our guest in the house.
Thank you very much for the privilege. I hope our guest is in the audience now, and I think she's temporarily disconnected.
She is right there.
She's right there.
Scene.
Okay.
She is behind the scene. Yes.
Correct. Today is a very, very great day, and I will tell you that we are very honored to have in the audience Nma Ewere. For her age and her accomplishment, she is an inspiration to all of us. Nma Ewere.
Yes, sir.
Comes from the family of Mr. and Mrs. Ewere OKONTA of Ekukwagbo, Ika South local government area of Delta State, Nigeria. She is the second child and first daughter of 3 children born on the 9th of September 2006. She attended Dio Gracias International School, Agbo, for her primary education, and for her secondary education, she attended Marymount College and Moye Memorial Foundation School, Agbo. She is an author, a newspaper columnist, a reporter with EOB Media Concepts, and an aspiring lawyer. She recently wrote and passed the 2021 JAMB examination with a score of 238, which is very profound, as she is one of the 5% of the JAMB successful candidate, of which 86% of Nigerians failed. I'm talking about Nigeria of 200 million population. She is among the top 5%. She has also recently finished her NECO examination and is awaiting her results, and presently she is writing her WAEC examination. The books authored by her are: 1, Nma's Corner. This is a compilation of short stories that comes virtually every week. The Jealous Wife, The Revenge, Red Dragon Syndicate, Dynasty. Though these books are yet to be published, but you can have access to them on many media sites. Her role models, she has so many role models. and they are Mr. Ewere OKONTA, her father, because of how he motivates and inspires her. Chimandanda at Ngozi Adichie, because of her writing prowess. Nora Roberts, because of how she manipulates her scenes. Rick Riordan, because of how he interweaves his fantasy, and pharmacist Isaiah Oko for his philanthropy. Her life goals is to have a PhD in law before the age of 25 years old. That is very, very lofty attainment. To work in an international, multinational organization. Another goal is having an international law firm and media conglomerate. The fourth goal is to be a philanthropist. Her hobbies are reading of novels, writing, watching of animated movies, calligraphy, listening to music, and rapping. These are lofty achievements of actually a 15-year-old. So this is the short life biography of Nma Ewere.
Thank you very much, Chief from Isaiah Oko. Ladies and gentlemen, do me the honor to welcome Nma Ewere OKONTA to the program. Nma Ewere OKONTA, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me here, ma.
All right. So we've heard a lot about your activities, your jam, your books, and everything, and I'm really thrilled.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we dive right into the interview, we want our viewers to know more about you. I know we heard through your biography, but we want to hear from the Aussie's mouth. So can you tell our viewers a little more about you?
Okay. As was read in my biography, my name is Nma Ewere. I'm the second child and first daughter of my family. I have an elder brother who is incidentally studying law and a younger sister. I recently wrote my NECO, JAMB, and I'm presently writing my WAEC. All thanks to the man sitting down there, Pharmacy Isaiah Oko, who has been the motherboard of my huge success. Sir, I'm using this medium to appreciate and thank you for everything you have been doing for me. Thank you very much, sir. I'm also a reporter with EOB Media and a newspaper columnist. I'm presently awaiting my NECO results, although my JAMB results have been released, of which I scored 238. My proposed course of study is to study law, and my proposed university is Adeleke University. I chose Adeleke University because of my age. Since in Nigeria, students less than 16 years old are not to be accepted in university, but I'm pretty sure a private university would accept me, which is why I opted for Adeleke University, which I know is not going to be easy or convenient to my parents, which is why I'm seriously praying, hoping, and wishing to be granted a scholarship. I don't really know how it's going to happen, but I just know it's going to happen. What more do you want to know about me?
Admire the confidence.
Oh my God, I can just keep you here to talk on and on and on, and I won't be tired of listening to you. You are very, very eloquent. Thank you very much. Okay, so I saw the titles of your books, and one of them thrilled me the most. Looking at your age, you just turned 15. By the way,
yesterday.
Happy belated birthday. All right, so I'm so thrilled, most especially the jealous wife. When I saw the jealous wife, I'm a wife, and from Isaiah Oko is somebody's husband. And when I saw the title, I was like, okay, a 15-year-old girl. And when you wrote the book, you're not even 15 yet. So
Oh,
something was going through my mind like, okay, what was she thinking about? What does she know about the jealous wife? What actually inspired her to write something about the jealous wife? So I was just like trying to imagine, trying to put the puzzles together. But trust me, because I wasn't the one that wrote the book, I could not fit the puzzles together. So I said, anyways, I'm going to wait for today. You, Umma, will fit the puzzles, fix them properly for me, so I will get it right. All right. So before we go into all of that, I want to ask you, at what age did you start writing
I
books or
started
writing
writing at
stories?
age 8
Wow.
when I
When you
was
were
in
8 years old.
grade 3.
Wow. This is really interesting. At 8 years old, you already started writing. Viewers, I
Yeah.
want you to join me to give a round of applause to our girl, Nma Ewere OKONTA, and I'm very proud of you, and also kudos to your parents.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, again, I want to ask you, you said you started writing at age 8. So, what exactly inspired you to go into writing?
Actually, we're given an assignment to write a short story. So, like, I decided to write a very, very short story of not less than 20 lines, and I named it The Jealous Wife.
Hmm.
Of course, then I was into home videos. So, with time, I went deeper. I started writing more on The Jealous Wife. A story of not less than 20 lines turned into a play of 38 pages, 3 acts, and 8 scenes.
Hmm.
That is actually what pushed me to writing it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's impressive.
This
That's
is really
impressive.
interesting. This is really interesting. All right. So I want to bring in Farm Azaya Oko because there was a time we were talking about, not about you, but about somebody else, about the WAEC, no, the JAMP, how a lot of people failed this year's JAMP exam. And me seeing you a 14-year-old, because when I'm saying 14 years, because when you wrote the jam, you were 14, you just turned 15, right?
Yeah,
So I'm saying 14 years. So you wrote the jam when you were 14 years. So
yeah,
I'm so thrilled that a 14-year-old girl could have this high score in this time that a lot of people were not even able to cross 120. And I also heard that the JAMB officials are trying to bring down the cutoff, and the schools, the universities are trying to bring down the cutoff, because the cutoff mark for people to get into the university, because a lot of people failed it, right? So I want to bring
yeah.
in Famazaya Oko to throw more light into this year's JAMB, and also to congratulate you for being able to blow us off our mind. So I'm bringing in from Azaya Oko.
Thank you very much for bringing me on, and thank you, viewers.
You're
As a
welcome.
matter of fact, the the first day I had a video call with Mma's dad, Mma was in the background. I used to think that he was the one who usually writes Mma's corner. I didn't know it was the Mma. So I told him the things you write about Mma's corner is very good. He was like, no, it's not me that writes it. That this is the person that writes it. And she was 14.
Hmm.
I was like, who writes it? He said, this girl sitting right here. And I was like, what class is she in? And he told me she's in SS1 or SS2. I don't know. I
Hmm.
was like, okay, let me tell you this. I just told him, okay, listen, she has to write jam and write NECO or whatever they will let her register, because she is so smart. She has to leave the secondary school and go to the university right away. Then she was 14. So I went ahead and told him, I'm going to register WAEC jam for her, and she has to go straight to school right away. So
Hmm.
that was it. Then she registered. But coincidentally, Mma was the youngest of the 6 people I registered jam for. this year,
Hmm.
like the youngest. But when the results came, she was the highest scorer. I mean, I never expected that anybody was to score 238. But to throw more lights on it, normally, in a normal setting, right? Universities are supposed to have like 200 cutoff, public universities, private universities 180. But I want to tell you one thing very clear today, that NUC met and they now made the cutoff to be 180 for federal universities, 160 for private universities, right? I mean, after that, they found that it was not even possible. They now made it 160 for federal universities. Currently, it's now 140 for private universities. But I want to push it further. The Adeleke University that she applied to has agreed to accept students at even 120. That is how bad it is. Now, Tansi University in Anambra State has accepted to take students at 110 score. So the JAM result is so bad that if she scored 238 and the university she decided to go to have agreed to accept students at 140, you will see the difference. Like, she is not even top 5. She'll be like the top 1%.
Hmm.
That is how bad the score is. 86% of people, 86% scored less than 180.
Hmm.
So only 14% of people scored above 180. And of the people now, I think it's only about less than 10% scored above 200. So that is how serious her score is.
Hmm.
So to score 238 at the age of 14, when she has no business actually in writing JAM, that is beyond human comprehension. Because it is right now, she is struggling to even be accepted to private university with a very definite, impressive score, which I know she's going to get because they don't have any option than to accept her, because this is a case of ingenuity. She's a genius, period.
Hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay.
You're welcome.
So I want to ask you again, Nma.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've already asked you what inspired you to. Okay. Now you said what inspired you to write the other one, the housewife, was because of the
The jealous
assignment that
housewife.
was, yes, the jealous housewife was due to the assignment that was given to you, like a short script to write, and it turned into a 3 hours or a lot of pages, right? Okay, what about other ones? Because I saw Mass Corner, and let me see the names of others. Just give me a sec here. You have here Mass Corner, you have The Jealous Wife, you have Revenge, Red Dragon Syndicate, and Dynasty. Okay, so what inspired you to become a writer, like to start writing novels or stories?
Okay. At first, I would say one of the factors that inspired me to start writing was silence.
Hmm.
When people find loneliness in silence, I think I've come to find comfort and calm in silence.
Hmm.
With silence, I'm able to communicate with my characters. I'm able to relate with their emotions and their environment. So I think that's one of the factors that inspired me into writing. Another factor is my love for other writers. The first book I ever read was Think Big by Ben Carson.
Hmm.
After that, I read The Gifted Hands by Ben Carson. Ben Carson is one of my role models, to be precise. He was the first doctor to have what I call it again, a surgery.
To separate conjoined
Yeah, to
twins.
separate two conjoined twins, and was successful. He was also the secretary of health in the United States, which is equivalent to a minister here in Nigeria. So like at first I wanted to be a doctor, but after so many things with chemistry, biology, physics, I quickly shifted to literature, which is where I found my calm.
Hmm.
So I think that's one of the things that inspired me also.
Okay.
Also, my love for Nora Roberts, the author of Genuine Lies, Angels Falls, Obsession. Like, I love her book so badly that I want to write.
Oh my goodness.
That's good.
Okay. So, meaning reading seems to be your hobby. I was going to ask you what's your hobby, but from all what you just said, reading and writing seems to be your hobby.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what
I
other
have
things? Okay. Go
I
ahead.
have a little question.
Yes,
Since
sir.
you're very good in art, in literal art, um do you think don't you think it would be better to study English and you'll be writing than study law?
That's a possibility, but I think I would go for law because, like, I've seen how my elder brother behaves, who is incidentally studying law. So, like, it's only right, it's only cool, it's only better. I got to choose that step, you know.
Okay,
Okay.
that's great. Lawyers write very well too. I mean, to be a lawyer, you have to write extremely well. That's
I
good.
was going to say that as well. Yes, I was going to say that I totally agree with her because being a lawyer will also give her the opportunity to write whatever she want to write. She will write, I put it to you, and let me give you guys one story. So it doesn't look like we are just here to blow grammar, all right? So there was this lawyer, and they were in the law court, and the other guy was like saying, I put it to you, your what do they call them? Your is it your highness? No. My learned colleague. I put it to you, my
Yeah.
learned colleague. I put it to you that this was how it happened. I put it to you. And the other learned colleague was like, I put it to you, I put it to you. You did that when it happened. I will not be told and tell you. Not be told and tell you, eh? Then come here and tell you you are here in the law court putting it to be. Why are you putting it to be? Anyway, so I was just using that as a commercial break. So sit tight. We'll continue with the interview. So I also want to remind our viewers, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do us a favor, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button so whenever we are on, you'll be first to be notified. And also do us a favor, share our videos, leave us your comments, and tell us how we can improve on this channel because it's for all of us, not just for one person. Thank you very much, our returning subscribers, and also those that joined the GMTV Royalty family. Thank you very much for joining. We'll be right back. Welcome back. All right. So I was going to also ask you how many books you have written. So far so well. I think you have written 5 books in total.
Yeah, five and still counting.
Oh, 5 and still counting. I love that.
Yeah.
I think I should always have you every day right here on GMTV because I love your confidence. I love your composure, and in fact, you're too much. I throw a salute. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So again, now you told us how you got your inspiration on all the books and all that. So I also want to ask you, how did you get the inspiration for the is it jealousy? Let me check the title of the book because those ones really caught my attention, and I said I was going to make sure. Okay, revenge, because revenge and jealous wife, they just ringing in my brain. So who are you revenging, or who is revenging, and why did you have to write about the revenge?
The revenge.
Yes.
It was It's a prose.
Okay.
It talks about a girl, Ivy, whom her uncles killed her parents and they later sent her away to a boarding school. Which, so when she came back after during normal breaks, they planned to poison her. They finally poisoned her and threw her body in a river to where she floated to another country or another state. So from them, people found her, they took care of her. She actually lost her memory. So when she came back to take revenge on all those people who have been doing bad to her, those people who tried to kill her. So that's why she came back, you know.
That must be
Wow, that
very,
is
very interesting. Go ahead, Chief.
no, that's a very interesting story. So, do you keep copies of these stories, short stories you write? Do you keep copies of them?
Yes, the manuscripts are still intact, the hard copy, written
Okay.
with pen and paper.
Oh, so it has not been typed.
No, though I'm still
Okay,
working on the typing.
are you looking forward to? Okay, on the typing, I think with all you have going on, do you know how to use a laptop to type stuff?
Yeah, of course I can. That is why it's mass corner using a laptop.
Okay, you have a laptop that you do mask on, all right?
Yeah, I use my dad's own.
Okay. So on this show, because of what you have done, I think I'll have to provide you with a laptop so that you have your own because you have you have you have
Thank you very much,
actually
sir.
you have actually created an empire. So I want to support your ministry.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm really, really grateful. And I'm really happy for Uma. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. So all of the short stories are you're typing them on the Uma's Corner, or Uma's Corner is a different story entirely.
Yeah, mass corner is a different one. It consists of short stories.
Okay.
Like the first one I wrote was Indomia Soccer.
Hmm. Hold on a second. Untomi and Soka. So you wrote it in Ika language or in?
No, in English, but the title was Indomia Soccer.
Oh my goodness.
That was the first edition of Mascona.
You are so creative.
Okay, and it shows you are from Indomie generation. That's
Mm.
good.
Untomi and Soka. Okay. So for I hope you're going to put interpretation because some people will not be able to understand the Indomie Aswokas. So are you going to?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. All
it's
right.
there.
That's good.
It's there in the book in the
Okay.
edition.
All right. So what is the other titles of the short stories in Uma's Corner?
The handbag,
Hmm.
characters in my book. My
Okay.
last week's edition, this week's edition was Silent and Deadly.
Hmm. Silent
Wow.
and Deadly. Can you tell us
Tell,
about this
tell
Silent
us
and
about
Deadly?
it.
Okay, Silent and Deadly actually is about a fart, a serious, deadly one.
Hmm.
It talked about me and my family having a conversation in our sitting room, and suddenly there was an explosive. Like
Hmm.
the explosive was not heard, but its presence was known everywhere inside the house. Like
Hmm.
we were choking on our breaths.
Hmm.
So finally, after some time, the remains of the
Explosion.
explosive was all that was left. Until Mother Nature called me, Nma Ewere called me, and
Hmm.
I was like, okay, since I think my own is gonna be like the other person, the person in question. I think my own is gonna be like that person's own. Unfortunately, it didn't end up like that.
Oh.
You know that awkward moment when you are expecting your fart to come out silently and it comes out like a bomb blast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like you want it to come from the corner.
Uh,
Oh my God. You
that's
are
what
really
silent and death is all
incredible.
about.
Okay. Thank you
Wow.
very much. All right.
That
So,
was quite interesting.
mm-hmm. Okay. So you already told us that you want to become a lawyer in the near future.
Yeah.
So was it only because your older brother is a lawyer or studying to become a lawyer? Was that just the reason why you want to become a lawyer?
No, that wasn't the only reason. Because I found out
Okay.
that I did more on the art subjects. I did more when it comes to arguing. I did more when it came to stating out the facts. That was the
Okay.
main reason I went for law.
Okay. That's where we have similarities a little bit. Okay, because when I was also in high school, I always run away from my maths class because I found maths to be very, very difficult. But some persons used to say that is easy. But for me, it's like when you bring in maths for me, it's like you're putting the weight of the world upon my shoulder and I can handle it. So I drifted from like science class to a literature class. And I told myself that I was going to study law, right? I also know
Yeah.
how to argue and know how to bring the facts and all that. But I shouldn't say unfortunately, because let me use the word fortunately, I ended up studying political science, right? And the political science is, I'm not using it now. And I also told myself that if I don't study law, I'm going to study mass communication. So, but I didn't do the mass communication, I didn't do the law, I did political science. But still, I still have my passion in mass communication, news, and hosting events and all that. So, and that's why I have you here on my studio, in my studio today. All right. So, moving moving further, there are a lot of young people. Before then, let me read the comments of our viewers. Our viewers, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you. And also, we want to apologize because we're supposed to make it public for everyone, both on Facebook and all the pages and all that. So, but due to some circumstances beyond our control, we could not post it on Facebook. Maybe from tomorrow, we're going to premiere it. We're going to send it on Facebook for everyone to see. And for those of you who are watching us from YouTube, we really appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right. Michael Obuse says, nice being part of this. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. Blessing Ewere Mo. Oh, okay.
Iwerumo.
Iwerumo. That's great. She's doing so well. All right. Wow, just 15. Bravo. Wow. All right. So bold and confident. Yes, that's what is actually thrilling me. Yes. A round of applause. Thank you. Wow, that's impressive. Really, really impressive. Thank you very much. All right. So, okay. So seeing the situation in not only in Nigeria, across the world, in the whole world today, the youth are no longer interested in reading or writing or going to school. I mean, some of the youths, they just want to loiter around. They just want quick money. Some of them want to go with the Yahoo boys and all of that. So,
Yeah.
what is your advice to people of your age? What advice would you give to them?
Okay. I will have to say that everybody in this world was actually born with a skill and talent.
Hmm.
So it's only left for you to find out that talent and bring it to good use. Which is
Hmm.
why I'm advising those youths outside and my other age mates that they should find their skill, they should find their talent, and put it out, bring it out to good use.
Hmm.
You know.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, and for those that want to become writers as well, would you encourage them to become writers, or would you tell them to quit?
I will encourage them seriously to become good writers. Like, I'm waiting to see writers.
Okay. And I want to ask again, what are your challenges? Being that you're very young, you're hoping that the university you want to gain admission to may or may not accept because of your age, but I'm praying and hoping that they must accept. All right,
Yeah.
because you can't throw this talent. You can't wait for too long. All right. So I'm praying that they must accept you. But I want to know what are your challenges, and if the reverse is the case, what are you going to do?
Okay. If the reverse is the case,
Yeah,
what am I gonna do?
yeah.
I don't actually think that there's gonna be a reverse. I'm thinking positively. I'm thinking positively. It's either I go to school or I go to school. There's no other way about it.
You know,
Oh my God! It's
you
either
know,
excuse
I
me,
have
chief.
to.
Excuse me,
Okay,
chief.
go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
either she goes to school or she goes to school. Oh my God, you are amazing. All right, I will let Chief say something. Chief, okay, go ahead.
I will. I will tell you something I appreciate about you and why. When I met you talking to your dad, I became interested in how you act. Okay, I was 17 when I was 16 when I finished secondary school, and I was taken to Abuja by my brother. So when I got there usually is no employment. I remember telling my brother this, that there are two options in life. It's either you get employed or you employ someone. Those are the two
Hmm.
options. So I told him, so when I saw the employment market in Abuja, and he was like, "What are you going to do if you don't have a job?" I told him I'll go back to Ekukwagbo and start growing tomatoes. In that way, I will employ someone.
Hmm.
So that there are two options. Either I start working here or I'm employing someone somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember leaving him at that young age and going back, and I started business. And today I'm employing people. So I've never worked for government or gained employment with the usual employment way in Nigeria. I can assure you, your belief, the way it is going to happen.
Amen.
Because there is no
Amen.
admission officer in any university that you're going to say, tell what you just told us, that is going to turn the other way. You're going to tell him that there is no other option. I'm going to be admitted here, and there's no
Amen.
option. And I can assure you one thing, though, which is very true. Regardless of the age restriction, um, the universities are giving up to February next year to resume. That is for this current jam session. So
Okay.
I believe before many universities even resume for the 2021-22 session, you will be 16 and you can even attend any school. That is
Mm-hmm.
going to be very, very sure. But going to a private university, you are very, very sure to be accepted. There is no way out. You are very
Amen.
sure, because the worst that will happen is the school board will seek an override with NUC, and
Mm-hmm.
you are a candidate. In fact, you are a genius. You are an exception. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be a problem. You are an exception. That's the truth.
Oh yes. All right.
Yes,
Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Um,
you're welcome.
okay, but still, I want to know your challenges in writing and other challenges in life. That's where
Okay.
we're going to draw the curtain.
My challenges in writing. To be
Yes.
sincere, like when you start writing, actually, okay, when I finished my first book, The Jealous Wife. It's like I was getting ahead of myself. Like I had this idea, I had this idea, I had this idea. I had up to 7 uncompleted books with
Hmm.
no good plots. Like, what's the use of it? So like if I'm writing on one book, like I plan to write only on that one till I'm through. Because when you're actually writing, that's when you will know that you have this idea, you have this idea, you have this idea.
Hmm.
But then you still have to have a good plot. So one of my challenges was distraction
Okay.
because of the ideas and ideas and ideas, which was actually not a good idea.
Too many ideas.
Yeah.
But one would have thought that having a lot of ideas is supposed to be a plus for your writing.
Uh-huh. But it wasn't. Like I started writing different books, different books. I will stop at chapter 1. I will stop at chapter 2. I will stop at chapter 1 in the next one. I will stop at chapter 2. And I will never complete them.
Oh,
So like
okay.
that was one of the challenges I had. The second one is finance for the publishing of those books. Like The
Okay.
Jealous Wife. I completed it before I entered secondary school, which is about 5 to 4 years ago. And it's still
Hmm.
unpublished. You know.
Hmm.
So I think those are the challenges
So
that
you
I'm
wrote the
facing.
jealous, sorry to cut you. You wrote the jealous wife when you were in primary school?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
wrote.
I wasn't wrong when I said the youngest author in Ikaland, and somebody challenged me to say that no, she's not the youngest author because the person said he has seen someone in primary school wrote a book. And I never knew that you wrote your book in when you were in primary school. If not, I would have challenged the person back to say, hey, look, she wrote her book in primary school. So I want whoever the person is now to hear you well, that you wrote your book in when you were in primary school. So you're still among the youngest people in Ekaland that authored books, not a book. All right, go ahead.
What one?
Okay. You were telling us about the finance, about your challenges. So you told the second one.
Yeah, the second one is the finance for the publishing of those books.
Okay.
So like um for the publishing of those books, like we didn't have the appropriate financial resources to
Okay.
fund the publishing.
All right.
That's also the obstacle, the challenge
Okay.
I'm facing. I think that's all.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, viewers, we really appreciate your time for joining us today. This is Pigeon News Event and Entertainment Channel. Even though say we did hear the blow grammar, now carry us come the blow grammar today. Because if person today intelligent, you not go know how you will just they blow the grammar. Una understand? For here na pigeon we they speak. But when you have such a talent, if you dey speak pidgin, e no dey clear again for your mouth. So now make we say make we use oyibo blow this one today. So we really appreciate everyone for joining us, and we encourage everyone to put her in prayers. And also, I want to encourage the young people, the youth, the teenagers, because she's a teenager. We want to encourage you to look up to her. If you don't know what to do with your life, if you're thinking that you're too young to become someone in life, take yourself to the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, and visualize yourself with Mma's story today, and tell yourself that if she can do it, you can as well do it. Don't tell yourself that you're too young. Don't belittle yourself. And if you're still there loitering around, like all those our young girls where they follow the Yahoo boys up and down. They go one corner way to the other. If you're still doing that, you're wasting your time. This is the best time for you to rethink and channel your life into doing something better, something important. Because a stitch in time, they say, saves nine. So you better start it now. The past is the past and the present is now. So start doing something with your life now. That is my advice for every one of you. So I'm going to leave Chief to give us his own advice. And before then, um, okay, okay. All right, Chief, I'm going to leave you to give us advice, to give the youth and the teenagers some advice.
Thank you, viewers, and thank you everyone who have been present and listening. When I see Nma, I remember the young Timothy that Apostle Paul met in the Bible. And when he met him, he said, I remember the faith that was in your grandmother, Lois, and the same faith was in your mother, Eunice, and the same faith I see in you without hypocrisy. I have known your father for a long time. I know his dedication and focus, and I see that in you without no hypocrisy. Like you are not doing this because of it, like it's like genetic. One thing I want to point out is that why your situation thrills me and is unique is that you have more distractions than our generation had. For instance, growing up, I did not have Facebook. I did not have Instagram. I did not have Twitter. There was no internet and there was no cell phone. And you went against all these distractions and you forged ahead and came up with excellence. I mean, you are not only a genius, you are a talent manager. Because one thing is to be intelligent, another thing is to manage the talent. So I applaud you so much, and I encourage everyone watching us, both grown-ups and young people, to be imitating Nma, because Nma is an example of someone with talent and who manages the talent. You know, one thing is to have money and manage money, because many people get broke after inheriting their father's wealth. So even though you may have inherited intelligence from your parents, managing it is what impresses me most. And managing it at a time when the distraction is beyond words, where the distraction, you have evidence and facts of getting distracted. Like you have many things to convince you, like this person that is a Yahoo boy did not even go to school, is driving Lexus. What who book, who school help? They say it to our face, who school help, who write and help, all these things. A school is a scam, and on Facebook they intimidate you. I mean, there is no age and generation that laxity and ignorance have been celebrated more than this current generation. That people now have even a brand for it. Like the only thing remaining is for ignorance to have a NAVDAC number at this age. And you go against the tide, you are swimming against the tide of the ocean and you're making waves. So I'm impressed, and I pray you continue with it. And I see myself as successful because somebody like you is coming up. Because if you do not have people succeeding you, you are not a success.
Yeah.
So you are like a symbol of success of our generation, because you are carrying on the race to another generation. And I just sincerely hope and pray that God is going to keep you for us, because you are a real beacon of hope and light for the future generation.
Thank you very much, Chief. All right. So also, I want to appreciate your parents, most especially Ewere OKONTA. I want to appreciate him because you said he's also your role model, of course. I've been seeing all his posts and write up and all that. So mango tree not a bear guava. A goat cannot give birth to a cow. All right. So kudos to him as well. So if you have anything to tell your parents, I want you to say it now. Then we draw the curtain.
Okay. I want to use this medium to thank my parents for all they have been doing for me. Like, they have been the one pushing me, motivating me, inspiring me. Like, if not, I wouldn't have been writing. They were the ones that pushed me to exceed my limits. They told me that here will not be my starting point, but where they have stopped is where I will start from. So thank you, Daddy, thank you, Mommy.
All right. Daddy and Mommy, I hope you're hearing. I hope you're listening. So thank you. I'm joining her to say a very big thank you to both of you for leading her through the right way. Because the Bible says, train up a child the way they should grow, so that when they are old, they will not depart from it. So that is what you're seeing here. And I pray that you will eat the fruits of your labor. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
And
you.
Chief Isaiah, thank you very much for joining us today. And Nma Ewere OKONTA, I really want to appreciate you for honoring this invitation, this interview invitation. And I hope to see you again here, same place, different time, and different topic, maybe after your admission. So we'll come here to
Yeah,
celebrate you. All right. Thank you very much.
thank you very much.